It's time to discuss Crimson Vow. You're here because you want to buy it. You have money set aside and you're trying to figure out, should I buy a collector box of Crimson Vow? Highest level of gratitude to our patrons who power the channel through Patreon. Check out the Patreon link in the description to learn about monthly giveaways, VIP Discord access, and even our official playmat. Well, we are all going to a wedding, and you are the most invited. Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. I'm Jake, and welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. Today, we are talking about Crimson Vow Collector boosters. You're trying to figure out, do I need to spend this money on it? Today, we're going to talk about what it's worth. We're going to talk about some of the cards that are in it, and ultimately, by the end of the video, we're going to help you decide if this is a product for you, and if you need to spend money on it. Do you need to FOMO out, or can you spend that money on something else, or God forbid, can you save the money? Oh baby, let's talk about this. If you like this channel, if you like finance stuff, click like and subscribe. Head on over to Patreon and get involved on a deeper level. Let's go ahead and help you decide if you should buy this product. All right, so you know I've made this video for Modern Horizons 2, for Strixhaven. I've made it for Midnight Hunt, Commander Legends, Call Time, Collector 2021, Zendikar Rising, Ikoria, Theros. I've pretty much made this for all collector products other than D&D because I just forgot to do it. But today we're going to talk about this. I do encourage you to go check out some of these videos if you want to understand the collector product better. It goes back to 2019, late 2019, when we got Throne of Eldraine. That starts the collector variant era. I call the time before this the pre-variant era, before we got tons of extended art cards, showcase cards, whatever, full art cards, whatever you want to call them. We get tons and tons of variants now. We have Secret Lair that's always bringing us new products. It feels like every month there's a new Magic the Gathering product to engage with, and I'm sure that that is not done by accident. You're trying to figure out, do you want to buy Crimson Vow Collector Booster Box? Let's go ahead and head on over to eBay and get the idea of what that's worth right now. Yeah, this is about what I expected. $183 all in. Going to be a notable seller, that's fine. Massive amount of feedback there. $183 product. We're going to talk about a couple of the big things that that you need to know. So $183 if you decide to engage with it there. It is as low as $207. Okay, so eBay going to be the better spot to engage with it as of right now. Also, we've seen some crazy stuff happen over on Amazon. You can see Midnight Hunt sitting at around 180. As of the filming of this video, this is the 17th. Again, Crimson Vow going to be hitting local game stores in mass and going to be opened regularly here in just a couple days on the 19th. The big thing you need to know about this product is there are two seeded box toppers in it. This should remind you of Zendikar Rising, which had the two expedition box toppers that were seeded. These are going to be related to vampires. So you should know Dracula is public domain. So Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, they likely paid nothing for this, unlike Godzilla and Ikoria. This is going to be the first time since Ikoria that we are seeing a big fandom crossover. We have cards that have a name from the story of Dracula. They are actually named a Magic card. We can see the names under the cards here, just like they did in Ikoria. So this article here you're going to find in the description of the video. This should be a nice resource for you. This is Collecting Innistrad Crimson Vow. I'm going to talk about the Dracula series. Again, it's going to show you all of these different cards that you can get in the product. I encourage you to come on over here and read about this. I'm not going to tell you everything that you need to know. Right here, you can come over here again, go in the description of the video, and you can check out these different variants. We see these, which are the basic lands done in this beautiful black and white treatment, again with these different colorful borders. It should remind us a lot of Innistrad Midnight Hunt, which just came out. Set boosters are going to be a really good way to engage with this product. I actually really do like set boosters, despite there being less packs. The fact that you're going to be able to get cool cards off the list is going to be fun. Vampiric Tutor added to the list, among some other stuff. But again, I do encourage you to come on over here, read about this. Collector boosters from Innistrad Crimson Vow will always have a combination of 5 rares and or mythic rares, 2 of which will be traditional foil. In addition to the 2 traditional foil rares and or mythic rares, there are 8 additional traditional foil cards and a traditional foil double face token. One thing to keep in mind is each of these collector products is going to have its own unique motif, its own unique style. If you go to Ikoria, you're going to see big over-the-top comic book images. If you go to Throne of Eldraine, you're going to see cards with like this neat storybook frame. The showcase versions of cards, they change set to set. It really is an age of variance. And then what's really nice is they give you a beautiful breakdown here to give you an example of what it's going to be like going right through the pack. Also, I encourage you to go on YouTube and search box openings so that you can have an idea of what you're going to get. I'm sure you've watched a couple of those now on some of the bigger channels. This was something they didn't do in the beginning, which is a nice breakdown of what comes in each booster. This is going to let you know exactly what to get. There are showcase variants, there are extended art variants, and then there's even the borderless variants, which is going to have its own unique art as well. You will get one of the 5 Dracula series uncommons and slightly over half of the box topper boosters. So slightly over half of the box toppers that exist will have uncommons and the rest will have mythics or rares. Next thing I want to talk about in this product is what is the land slot like? Let's get an idea of what some of the pre-sale prices for these cards are going for. Again, I hate pre-sale prices. Pre-sale prices are often, they often drive the product, they drive hype. And then once the product comes out, the pre-sale prices just absolutely tank. But let's head on over to Card Kingdom. I want to look at what some of these cards are selling for, get an idea of what some of these variants are worth. Again, if you're going to spend what's going to be about $190, $195 after shipping, we need to see if there's anything in there that's going to be super exciting. We're over here looking at Crimson Vow. Let's go to pre-order singles. We're going to take a look at what is available here. Yeah, so we all knew Necroduality would take off. This is a very strong enchantment. Whenever a non-token zombie enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. So you have this version of it, but there's also going to be the extended art version that we're talking about in the collector booster. We see some other cards like Cultivator Colossus, kind of interesting, Maniform Hellkite. Most of the high-end cards are mythics. But we do need to get past all of the mythics here. We see Hullbreaker of Horror, first rare, that's going to have some value. Again, these are pre-sales, so take all of these prices with a grain of salt. Yeah, you know, most of this stuff will end up having a big correction. This is one thing I do like to talk about, though, is the land slot. So these lands they're not bad for EDH. You know, most of the stuff we talk about in EDH here comes from the lens of, is it good for Commander? And these are actually pretty solid for Commander. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. So any 2 other lands, this is entering the battlefield untapped. What I don't like about it is you can't search these up. The land slot is always a really good spot to find the value in a set. Obviously in Modern Horizons 2, among cards like Ragavan, Murktide, Dragon's Rage Channeler, there's a massive amount of cards in that set. But in addition to those, it has the enemy fetch lands, which are just multi-format staples, whether it's EDH, Legacy, Modern. Everybody wants fetch lands. These can't be tutored up. They aren't fetch lands. Obviously, I'm comparing a set that's designed for Standard compared to a set that's designed for Modern. A set that clearly had an inflated price. Again, talking about Modern Horizons 2. It has very powerful cards. It had a very powerful land slot. But that said, vampires, they're going to be a lot more attractive than Midnight Hunt. I do think that this product will end up being more expensive than Midnight Hunt just because vampires are more desirable than werewolves are. And there are 2 box toppers in this product, whereas Midnight Hunt did not have box toppers. And this does have a major IP crossover. I mean, it is public domain, but people are fans of Dracula. There are going to be players that want to collect these variants, just like there were players that wanted to go out and collect Godzilla variants from Ikoria. There's still people that are collecting Godzilla variants. So there will be a market for people that want to come in here, get Van Helsing, get Dracula. It is also notable that you will get an extended art Commander rare or mythic, which means you're going to be getting a card out of one of the Commander precons. So that's pretty sweet as well. So if you go over and check out the Commander precon decks, The rares and mythics in there could be something that you pull in these collector boosters as well. What else do we care about? We're going to look specifically at variants. Price high to low here. You can see the showcase version. This is a nice way to illustrate this. You have the showcase version here of Sorin the Mirthless, but then you have the Dracula version, which is just the alternate art. If you did take the entire bankroll, the 180 or 190, and came over here to cherry pick singles, say you want this Sorin or say you want the Dracula version, these are obviously going to be the chase cards in the set. Everybody's going to want the new Sorin. The new Sorin's pretty good. It's a pretty strong card. I still think 149 is way over here. I don't think that that needs to be the price. A lot of this is going to, again, bottom out. We cannot deny the fact that vampires are a very strong tribe. Everybody knows that ever since Vampiric Bloodlust came out, which was the deck that had Edgar Markov in it, Eminence is just so strong. It can't be overstated. There's a reason, you know, you have Olivia the Crimson Bride come out. We have Strefon that just came out in the precon. And everybody has maintained that the best commander for vampires is Edgar Markov. It's very hard to deny that. But really, it comes down to your own personal preference. I know I say this a lot. It comes down to, in the beginning with all these collector products, I wasn't the kind of person, I was like, you know, I need to get this. I had a lot of FOMO. But now I see that there are so many different secret layers. There's so many different collector products all the time. Keep in mind, a lot of people are going to be opening this stuff. A lot of these singles are going to hit the market. And do keep track of these prices. You really should. Take screenshots, come over here, do this yourself, but check on these prices in a couple weeks. And a lot of them are going to go through huge adjustments. Big adjustments. Most of these are going to bottom out. Some of them are going to shoot up in price, and then ultimately you'll be able to check back in the future and see where they where it all shakes out. Most of the time with these collector booster products, it is not worth it. I've opened up some really bad collector products. I've opened up some really good collector products. But yeah, if you want to engage with this product, you can snipe singles, you can buy the collector box, sit on it. I could see that this one goes up over time if you're trying to buy something to hold. I do think vampires are always going to be something that is attractive to Magic the Gathering players. It's a fun tribe. As more vampire cards come out, the tribe gets even better. And so if you are looking for good vampire heat, fun vampire variants, if you're looking to trick out a vampire deck, I can't think of a better set. One of the things that I do think that this set falls short on is I would have loved like a reprint of Edgar Markov put into the collector booster. Bring Blood Artist back and put it into the collector booster. Give some of these big cards from over the years, you know, Vampire Nocturnus, different random vampires, Pulse Tracker. Bring Pulse Tracker back all the way from Zendikar. Give it a new random treatment. Bring back some old vamps. Give them a showcase treatment and put them only in collector boosters for fun. I do think it will be better than Midnight Hunt in the long run. It's just firing on more cylinders. It has the fun IP crossover like Ikoria had with the Godzilla cards. It has two-seated box toppers like Zendikar Rising had. But Zendikar Rising, you know, that has fetch lands, that has like Cavern of Souls in it. There's stuff like Wasteland, Strip Mine in that product. The lands really aren't here for me. Modern Horizons 2, Commander Legends, obviously these are like big, huge collector products. You have Jeweled Lotus and Commander Legends. You have Modern Horizons 2, which just has a plethora of power in it. But again, these products are designed for different power levels of play. This is a standard product. I think it's a fine product, but I do think that if you took the 190 and you held out for like a week after this set comes out, you'd be able to stretch that 190 a very long way. So ultimately, Jake, is it worth it? I think it's fine. I think it's a fine product. I think at this price point, yeah, it's probably not going to go a lot lower. I think there's some upside. I think, you know, in like a year, the product could be sitting around 250 just because of all of the vampire swag that's in it. Just people are going to want these vampire variants. But the problem is that so many collector products come out, so much of this will be opened, a lot of it will tank. Just straight up. I'm not going to tell you that it's not. A lot of it will. I wouldn't FOMO out here. I don't think this is going to be a set that breaks the bank. I don't think it's going to be super over the top. Again, the lands, unlike the Triomes and Ikoria, which you can search up, I always talk about those. My favorite land out of any of these collector products at this point, other than like fetch lands in Modern Horizons 2. But again, that product, a different caliber. Do your own due diligence, figure out if it works for you. If it doesn't fit in your budget, don't beat yourself up. You can see all these other collector booster boxes that are left over. Like you still have Zendikar Rising This has been out forever. 221 on here. You can find these collector boxes. So, I mean, Call Time 169. When Call Time originally came out, that was like, geez, I can't even remember. It was like $200. But you could see Modern Horizons 2 has really shot up. 380. You could find that for better prices on eBay and stuff. But a lot of these collector products, they go through massive corrections. Even Strixhaven, which everybody was freaking out about the demonic tutor and the time warp. 217 now. Strixhaven has been out for a while, and still that collector product has a reasonable price point. So anyway, don't FOMO out. You'll definitely be able to find it if you want to find it. And until next time, I'm Jake with Jake and Joel Magic. I'll see you later. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.